on correctly, okay? There's times that we kind of, there you go, goof up with it, and it'll get on crooked and different things as well too, but we want to try to keep it as level as we can as we're doing it. The battery issue on this is, you'll hear it bark at us a little bit here, but we have an issue with it. There you go. So we'll have the patient just roll on their side. And you'll learn this technique. It's a good technique. Something around someone, a Hoyer lift or somebody like that, all the way through back. And come to this side. All right, so you can go back there. Now, before we did this, we made sure that all the straps are the same distance so that we know the straps level, or at least there's not one side that's too big or one side that's too small. Okay. And then when we put this on, we're going to center it the best we can. And it's important that those bottom straps are just below the greater trochanter, because that's where most of the weight bearing is going to happen. There's 3 straps on the sides, and there's going to be a strap between her legs as well, too. So we're going to make sure that that's centered.
Susan, do you have any spasticity?
No.
No. So you.
So, let's see here where we're at. So, this process starts out pretty slow the first time you do it with someone, but you get quicker and quicker, and Susan's actually very easy to work with in this, because she can move so much for us, which is nice. I think we're okay. So, let's go ahead and tighten from the top. So, it's nice if you have 2 people who can do it together. So we'll get the top one's not going to be as tight, so when you're putting it on each other, the top one doesn't need to be as tight, the middle one a little bit tighter, and the bottom one's going to be the snug one.
Okay.
Now you can also see with Susan here, she's been sitting a lot, and so her hip flexors are tight, and her knees are pretty tight as well too. So part of what we've been doing with Susan is working on getting passive knee extension, stretching her hamstrings, and stretching her hip flexors as well too. So that'd probably be a good thing before we got on it, but in order for time and what we're looking at here, we can do that. Why don't you come back towards me, roll towards me. So we're going to get her on her back, and then we'll get these 2 back here. Other side again. And Susan's a tiny one, so you'll see that you got it. Come back to your back. So we've got her pretty square here. It looks pretty good. I'm just making sure that these stay nice and tight. I'll get your legs. You're going to sit up and we'll walk towards the edge of the front. Just kind of wiggle our way down. And she's got pretty good sitting balance, and she's been working on that at home too, right? Okay. Coming up so those feet are on the ground. There you go. Okay there? Okay. Then what we can do is just take this around.
Can I just ask another question?
Yeah.
Do you have sensation in your legs?
I do not.
You do not. So that's another thing, that when you put straps on and somebody doesn't have sensation, you have to double and triple check that you're not doing anything that could hurt their skin.
Right.
If they can't tell you that it hurts or pinches. So you have to be very careful with somebody who has disturbed sensation or no sensation.
And one of the things that's kept her from coming in here, she had an ulcer on her heel as well too. So that's something that we made sure that we're actually putting 2 AFOs on her. Now these are not her AFOs; they're just ours, off-the-shelf ones. They're going to help clear her feet. At some point, we'll look at having custom ones done for her. A lot of times with the AFOs, though, they make them so darn heavy and so big and so clumsy that most of the time they end up in the bottom of people's closets and stuff like that. So sometimes just a straight AFO, I've had people just wear ankle braces because they're a lot more compliant wearing ankle braces sometimes than even an AFO. So let me go down all the way here, make sure we're all the way down. So I'm going to make sure the yoke's all the way down. So it's got a little ways to go. Sorry for the annoying. Okay, so I'm going to block this, and Stephanie's going to pull tight in the back there. So we're actually going to lift her up just a little bit.